Oh, okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in with Coach Kizzy and Majestic Life Solutions. So I told you I was gonna keep you updated on the underwater recovery operation at Lake Cliff Park. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the picture of what they recovered from there, and I'm gonna give you some insights on a little something. Okay, look at this. Did I not tell you that I was gonna keep you updated? Look. So there has been four vehicles covered, recovered. So it's four of them at this present time. I don't know if it's still multiple in there, but look at all these cars. That is a old fashioned car right there, or whatever it is. And I can tell my cars, but they look like these. I don't know what this is. It look like it look crazy. Whatever that car is, it look like an old LTD. And that's what. Let me see. Let me pull up a picture of a LTD. Okay, hold on. And it's gonna be weird when I pull up this old LTD, and I'm gonna tell you a story. Oh, you can't see nothing. Okay, you only see me. You only see nothing. Okay, so let me see. Let's see. Okay, let me go see some pictures. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, so I like the. Ugh. Okay, so it might be weird, but listen. Okay, it's not weird to me. I don't care. Okay, so you see the LTD, this one, this blue one right here. That is a 1986. That's a 1986 model. I want to put in my year and see if it's different. Let me see. Let me see how they changed over years. Let's do that. It's really not. Yes, it is. I don't like that. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. Okay, we go back to 86. We go back to 86. Okay, back on 86. So, you see this blue one right here? Call it Big Blue. And I didn't even listen. I just know that they was LTDs. I did not know it was a Crown Victoria. I did not know that. But this is the kind of car I want. It might sound weird, but this is the kind of car I want. I listen. You know how people try to get their Bentleys, Rolls Royce. I want my car to look just exactly like this, just like this, with the original. Well, it don't have to have the original rims because you ain't gonna find that original hubcaps. I own hubcaps. I don't want no 2025. You know, this is the kind of car I want. You want to know? I'm just gonna tell you why. Because when they started making these new cars, they are what seemed to me they plastic, fiber stone. This right here is metal. You hit me? You just gonna when you hit if you hit that LTD hit you if you hit this LTD and it's right here and this model right here because they may cause different. They may cause like if you get a little fender bender on your car, if you bag up to listen nowadays you bag up to just a little pole and accidentally bump it, your bumper off, right? This right here, do you think your bumper gonna go off? I mean, well, come off. Do you think your bumper gonna come off? No. So Just think about if you get in an accident, somebody hit somebody hit you. I don't like accidents, but if you get into an accident, 9 times out of 10, with this vehicle right here, you know what's gonna happen? Your car gonna cuss it out. Wanna know why? Because it's not gonna really bend. It's not really gonna bend. It's not gonna really tear up unless you was going doing the extra, the most, or unless the vehicle is an 18-wheeler, big truck, and all that stuff, and they really going really really fast. Then that's when you're gonna experience some tragic. But you don't want to even think like that. But this is the car. That's my car. Phew. Yeah. See how my mind think, as in, I wouldn't have to worry about a lot of things. If I keep this car and I put, just think about, if I put a motor, a brand new motor that goes in this car, you know how long I have that car? Forever. A lot of people like to upgrade every year, or shine, or be the one of the center attention, have center attention on them. I want to be the one that's less valued in that area. You want to know why? Because I can be rich as hell. I'm saying I can be rich as hell. But if I'm driving something like this, it's original, don't have no boom sounds in it, and my ears are so sensitive, like now. My ears are sensitive. Like I said, I can hear very, very well. My ears are sensitive. Like I asked, like when I be driving my sister's car, and and she had her music up, and I asked, I said, "This don't ring your ears?" My ears are sensitive, and so I rather have an original tape player. Tape player, yeah. I went back, tape player in there. I don't know if these cars right here had a cassette. I don't know if they even had cassette players in the cars, but I wanted to have a tape player, and I wanted the knobs to twist, where if I want to turn on whatever station, I want the twist knob. Maybe I probably upgrade that. Yeah, I upgrade the radio to a radio. But this is the car. A 1986. It's a no. Is it? Yep. Still want it. Ford is not good cars, but I still want this car. Is it? You see, materialistic type things, it pleases people's spirit. It pleases people's spirit, and it don't please mine. What pleases mine is being comfortable. Being comfortable. You have to be comfortable with yourself. And when you start being comfortable with yourself, then you wouldn't have to thrive for materialistic type things. You understand what I'm saying? So this right here used to be my favorite car. And I can go get a car. They be like, why you didn't keep that car? But this car here, this is exactly my car. And it was this color. The car that I when I was 18, I got this car because I wanted it so bad. What did it look like? This one. It was a 1991, and I still remember the model. It was a 1991 Honda Accord. And I wanted it so bad, so bad. And if anybody remember, if this area, because I'm in Pleasant Grove area, if anybody know this area, it's St. Augustine and Old Seaway Road. This store used to be Minyards. This store up here used to be Minyards. I worked at Minyards to buy this car, and I didn't have enough down payment because I was working at Minyards, and I didn't want to be broke, right? So what I did, this is what I created. I went to the car lot. I drove my mom's car to the car lot, and I told the man, I asked him how much he wanted for the car. He told me it was like, I don't forget, it was like 20, 25, 95 or something like that. No, it wasn't 25. But the total was it probably like 2,500, something like that. So what I told him was, no, well, he told me how much he wanted down. And I said, I said, I don't have that much money. you know, I told him I didn't have that much money. So what I did to hustle up on my own to get what I needed to get for myself, I said, when I come here, you can keep the car here, but can I pay on the car? And you can keep the car, but can I pay on it to my down payment? My down payment was 800. So I brung him $100 every week because I got paid every week up there. I brung him $100, and then when it was close to that time, like $300, I put my whole check, that $300. I put that $300 up there, and I drove off, and it had made me the happiest person in the world. It made me the happiest person in the world. So this is why I tell people today: it's not how much you have; it's what you already have. Because everything that you have, you have enough. You have enough. You don't have to go steal, kill, and destroy, and take people rims off their car. Because I seen that one time too. Take people rims off their car to gain money for wealth. It's ways that you can do things in this world to get a honest car, shoes, materialistic type things. It's ways that you can do it honestly. The right way to do it, right way in doing things. So you just always remember, just think, change your mindset. Change your mindset into the positive way of thinking. If you change your way, if you change that way, then you're start deciding, like, what can I do to get me a vehicle? What can I do? And that's just like how these youngins today, they stealing cars because they haven't figured out how to go about getting their own car. They think that they had to wait to income tax. But if you know how to save and manage your money and talk to a person with respect, and not really demand on what you want, but actually show a person that you really want it, they'll work things out for you to be able to afford this. Like now they have where you can get a down payment. A layaway on cars now. You can do layaway. It's different type of things that you can do in this world where you won't be in trouble or behind bars. So when you start creating positive things in your mind, you'll start having a mindset of, I want to do better. And I'm gonna listen to that gentleman. Because you're gonna listen to that gentleman because that gentleman told me something real, and maybe I can start creating this in my mind that I don't have to go out here and steal. I don't have to create a forgery. I don't have to do none of that type of stuff to get what I need. Cause what we need, we need a roof over our head. A lot of people can't afford that. You understand nowadays, and so that's why it's a lot of homeless, homeless, homeless people out there because they mindset, they was their biggest enemy. So when you start understanding how people, if you put your foot in those people's shoes or you experience that type of thing, you would know what a person is going through in life. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people are self-centered. It's all about self, and they don't even give themselves time enough to think about others. That's why it's a lot of chaos in the world because we as humankind don't think about others or what somebody else gonna feel like, or if that person homeless, do we look down on that person? No, because at any given time of the moment, God can put you in that same situation. God can put you in the same situation, so you got to think different. I want you to actually start putting your shoes in other people's feet. Because when you start walking the path that certain people walk, and you don't understand it because probably you came from wealth. Start putting your shoes in other people, in other people life. Put your feet in other people's shoes. It'll change your perspective on life. A lot of people ain't haven't wasn't born into a spoon to their mouth. So this the generation that they in is this the only thing that they know is being a hustler or a gangster or a robber, a killer, because the narrative of people have stored this in kids' life, in our lives. Because what we see is what we do. What we see is exactly what we do. But we have to come to a conclusion of ourselves and say, you know what? It is something that I need to change. It's something that I need to change, but I don't know what it is. It starts with the mind. It starts with the mind. When you create something in your mind, I want you to meditate. I want you to meditate on the things that you know that you need to change. If you got a mansion right now, you got a mansion right now. Say you got a mansion. And all of a sudden, something just took your house down. You got all the money in the world, or you got a little money, but you build this place from ground up. And this just happened like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or something, probably last month or something. That this man, he built his house from the ground up, and a storm just came and swept his house away. And his child flew out his room 300 feet away from their house, but he survived because God wasn't ready for him. But always remember, don't never put down on an individual because an individual is struggling. Change your perspective on life. Once you start changing your perspective on life, you start to care about others. You start to have a heart for others. Sometimes you have to think like others. When you think like them, it gives you an opportunity to put your feet in their shoes. I don't care if you never experienced that part of life, but it takes you to actually want to step into that spot in your life and say, you know what? It's time for me to see, you know, what people really is about. Not just what they about the love that you can give someone that can change somebody's life. It's about love in this world. When you start loving on yourself, you'll start knowing how to love on anyone else. And when you feel less than yourself, when you feel like you're not loved, you create a space for you to understand other people. That's what you create. This is something that you create. And everybody think that when I say creating means that you have to work on something, build on something. No, that's not necessarily true. When you creating something, you creating a mind state of other people, and of yourself. So if you know that how many, let me tell you something. And I know that I know that I know, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna tell her. I know my sister told me that stop going to my change in our car, but I felt like it was for a good cause. I went to the store, and I went to the store, and it was a Hispanic man. I don't even have it to give. It wasn't even mine to give, but she was a good deed with me because I was a good deed. The man said he haven't ate or something. He needed some water. I couldn't even understand him because he was talking kind of Spanish like. But I understand that he asked for $1. It wasn't my change to give. But I know what the Lord wanted me to do. I know what the Lord wanted me to do. And I know exactly that blessing that comes just because it wasn't my change to give. It's going to be a blessing to the person change that I got it from. But I don't want to see nobody hungry. I don't want to see nobody homeless. Why? Because I done been there. I done been there. I done stepped, and I was a person in those people's shoes. So if you start changing your perspective on yourself, you start understanding people. But you gotta have love in you gotta have love in your heart. You gotta be a loving, kind-hearted person to actually understand people that's going through tough times and rough times in life. You have to understand it. It don't take a rocket scientist. It only takes change from you. That's it. It only takes you to change your perspective on how you look at life. That's why a lot of people want to commit suicide because the tough times come in their life. But you can be the person to stop that, right? Listen to me. A smile, even if you walk in the store, put a smile on your face. Because a smile can go a long way. It can change a person's perspective on that probably wanted to kill themselves at that moment. Just because you smiled at that person got another perspective of life. That person got another chance at life. So I want you today to walk around with love in your heart, not hate. Because hate don't get you nowhere. It don't get you nowhere. And I usually say it gets you the H word, to hell. But I can't put you there. I can't put you there. And when I say that, sometimes I'll be upset. But I can't put nobody in hell or heaven. But what I can do is show you the ropes and tell you about life. I'm 43, and I thank God that I made it this far. I thank God every day that I made it this far. Before my storm came years ago, I wanted to die. I wanted to die. Felt less than myself. But something came over me and said, you know what? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And I started thinking about the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Even if you kill yourself, you're not supposed to do that. I had to think about me. And that's when I started trying to get myself out of hell. When I came to realization of myself and understand that God don't want me to kill myself. You worked more than that. You're a better person than that. So I want you to think the same way how I think about myself. Think that way about you. Stand up for you. Because it takes you to stand up for you. If you struggle with drugs, sex addiction, whatever you struggle with, stand up for what you believe in and know that everything can change in your life. if you give yourself a chance. That's all it takes for you to give yourself a chance. People don't like to give themselves a chance because they think they're going to fail at it. But sometimes failure is for growth. It's an opportunity for you to grow in life. You have to fail in life to know that I don't want to go back that way. You have to fail. If you're not a failure, it's not going to make you stronger to know which way to go in life. You have to know exactly what you want. And we're not put on this earth for materialistic type things. We're not put on this earth to shine over nobody. We're not here for that. That's not what we're here for. We're here as humankind to love on one another, to thrive, to get people to start having faith in themselves and God. That's what we're here for. We're not here to play kid games. We're here to uplift the children that's coming behind us and giving them an opportunity of real life, an awesome life that God wants us to do. We can't do that without God. We cannot do that without God. The only way we can do that is through God that strengthens us, that give us a path to lead, to create a legacy that we can leave the children that's coming up behind us. I want to ask yourself today. I want to ask you today. I want you to ask yourself, do you fear death? Do you fear death? Are you scared to die? Because that makes a big difference in everyone's life. Are you afraid of death? Are you scared to die? You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be scared to die. It's going to happen to each and every one of us. But we don't know what time of day. So that means we have to come to realization and say, it's time for me to walk in purpose. It's time for me to do some of God's work, because I've been doing my own work. When you start understanding that, you'll become a better person. Because when we create things in our lives, we walking on our own path. We experiencing what life not supposed to be. When we make choices that's not pleasing to God, we create that. Those are experiences that we learn from to start creating a reality that we really need to live. So when we start understanding that, we become a better version of ourselves. So I don't want you to walk in hell. I don't want you to walk in hell. Because God said he wants what? He wants heaven on earth, not hell. So when you think about that, if you think about that saying, do you know what heaven on earth means? That means loving, caring, showing compassion to people, our brothers and sisters. Not brothers and sisters by blood. We are all brothers and sisters. So when we understand that, when we start understanding that we all brothers and sisters, that's why I say I want that video to actually go viral. That's my doing. I want that video to go viral. So share that video. Even if I had to share it 25,000 times, I'm going to share it. Because that's what the world's supposed to be like. No matter what skin tone you are. What matters is Do you love that person? I don't even know people that I love because we wasn't put here to have hate for anyone. It's people that I don't know that I love. I love them already because they're my brothers and sisters by the Creator. So when I started understanding what God wants from me, I started understanding that since these are my brothers and sisters, Asian, Hispanic, white, black, when I started understanding that they was my brothers and sisters, and we all came from the same father, we all came from the same father. I put another perspective of my life that I love them. I love everybody on this earthly land. Ain't no person that I hate. I can't say I hate you. I can say it. I can say it. But do you really feel that? Do you really feel that? Because if you feel that, then it's something you need to work on. It's something you need to work on. I don't care if a person is racist. In the medical field that I worked, I deal with racist people all the time. But how you treat them people with kindness and show compassion. That's how you treat them. If somebody calls you an N word, tell them thank you and you love them. Somebody call you a B word, kill them with kindness and tell them thank you and I love you, sister or brother. And sometimes it'll shape up the world by doing these type of things. It'll shape up the world by doing these type of things. Wanna know why? Because sometimes your energy can rub off on that person and it can change that person's life. Just because you see a lot of white people, Hispanic people, they racist. Black people racist too. A lot of people are racist. You understand what I'm saying? But black people always think about, oh, they called me an N word. Okay, okay. What that supposed to mean? They showing you love. Tell them that. They're showing you love. You're supposed to kill them with kindness. They're showing you love. Because you my brother. Regardless if you call me an N-word, you my brother. Or you my sister. Okay? Have a nice day. That's how we supposed to show a person in this world. Sometimes it might change their perspective on what it is. Because a lot of people still stuck on what the intentions of a black person, what they're supposed to be like. Being conniving, stealing, all that stuff. This is the perspective that some white people have of black people because the things that people do. So how can we create a positive environment when things are steady happening? So you have to come to realization to understand life. When you start getting to that point, you'll change. I changed for the better, and I love it. I love it, and it's not because you guys, my city, it's because it's something that I've been working on myself before you showed up. Before you showed up. That's why I've been single for 9 years, working on self. But when you showed up, it pushed me to the Most High God. See, it's a difference. You understand that? You understand the difference? It pushed me more to lean on to Him than lean on mankind. Because when I was working on myself, by myself, creating an environment for me, I was doing it alone. I was doing it alone. But when my storm showed up, it pushed me into leaning on God more, putting my faith and trust in Him. And He gave me insights on things that I need to do. So, you guys, I tell you this. I want you to walk in purpose. I want you to find who God is in your belief system. I want you to find Him for yourself and start understanding that He's not going to turn His back on you. He's not going to turn His back on you because you're homosexual, because you have a drug addiction, because you have a sex addiction, or you're a child molester. He's not going to forgive you. I mean, no, sorry, excuse my French. He will forgive you for everything that you commit in your life. Everything. He'll forgive you. He's a forgiving God. So when you start understanding that, you'll start leaning onto Him more than you lean on people. People let you down like a fly on the wall that you killed. So lean not onto your own understanding. Lean onto God's understanding, what He wants out of your life. Okay? And I love